All right, we're waiting for y'all. Then we'll get into our discussion. How we doing? It's starting to change out there. The snow's definitely coming down in a different fashion. It's a powdery snow tonight, and we're going to hit the peak of the storm tonight. This is when the heaviest snow will fall through the evening. I'm eating a cookie because it's a cookie kind of day. All right. How's the weather where you are? No, wait, I know. Snowy. So we will. Hey, Cher. I love you. You should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Cher. Cindy, good afternoon. Hey, Amy. Amy Alquist, how are you? How many socks should I wear? It's a 3-sock night. It's a 3-dog night and a 3-sock night. Shannon and Lamar, how are you guys? Good evening. Jody's having chocolate. Yeah. Hello from Churchville. Hello, hello, hello. Penn, yeah, and a lot of snow coming down. Yeah, this storm will live up to its, I don't want to say hype. We haven't hyped it, but it will live to its billing as we're going to get pretty much what we expected out of this storm and maybe a little more when we look at Friday night and Saturday. So here's what's going on tonight. You know, I just drove in from home. I work from home for a few hours, then I come in the late afternoon before the show. I'm having coffee too, right from the break room. Commute will be from Webster to Bristol. Not good, Tyler. It's going to be a very slow commute. So the snow is starting to pick up. This is, probably the peak of the storm will be tonight through about 2 or 3 in the morning. So moderate to heavy snow falls tonight. That'll really start picking up. It's doing it now. It's still kind of fine out there, but looking at the radar, I'll show you that in a second. We can see the darker blues, a higher snow reflectivity showing up. So it's going to start picking up. 5 to 8 new inches of snow for tonight. That's going to be between now and about midnight, 1, 2 o'clock. So, and then we get the local snows persisting into Friday. Here's radar now. So a lot of today, I bet you were worried. I bet you were doubtful. I bet you were thinking, those weather people, all they do is get it wrong. And then look what happened. As we predicted, the snow picked up. And the reason it's picking up tonight has everything to do with an approaching storm system. So this first wave that happened with the front and then the cold air seeping in, it was marginally cold this morning, around 30, 31 degrees. And the snow did not really fall heavily. There wasn't a lot of forcing, a lot of lift in the lower levels of the atmosphere. So now that we see our approaching storm system, and it's got a lot more lift, and I think we're going to be right on the northwest corner of this heavier snow. Some of this darker blue that's snowing very hard in Bradford right now and down near Dansville. If you're in Dansville, Bristol, Naples area, you're going to get 10 to 14 inches of snow by tomorrow morning for a total. That's what has fallen, and that's what will fall as a total. For the north area, we're going to get more of lake effect that'll help us as well. So the roads will be kind of tough tomorrow morning. I don't expect it to be great. Saturday morning, they'll be getting better. We'll have a lot of Friday afternoon to clear, but it's going to be very cold. Saturday is looking pretty good if you're away from the lakes. It should be pretty decent, just a cold Saturday. Temperatures in the teens. So here's some of that heavier precip down near Punxsutawney, where Phil just predicted more winter. He's getting rained on today. But that area of low pressure will be tracking right through Pennsylvania, Williamsport, Scranton, Harrisburg. That's where the lowest pressure is. So what that means for us is we're in the target line for this heavy snow coming through Akron and Cleveland right now. And that'll be the next several hours. So let's go from there and talk about a wider look here. So the center of that new low pressure is way down here over Western Kentucky right now. And it's developing. It's getting stronger. That's why the snow numbers are definitely going to happen. Selena Ragland, where are you? You're so jealous. Are you in a rainy area or a warm area? Here at the lakeshore in Greece, it's getting heavier. Can't see the horizon over Lake Ontario. That's a good way to measure it. 104, not bad at all. That's good. Temperatures falling tonight. And as temperatures fall, it'll be harder to treat the roads, but they'll be out there doing their due diligence, trying to keep it good for us. Also, a major ice storm happening right on the boundary between warm and cold. So you got to think of you as being under like a big tube a big tube of toilet paper roll or a big paper towel roll, and that's the atmosphere above you. And if it's all cold, you're going to get snow. But if there's a little sliver of warm air, you get the sleet. And if the cold air is way down here, you get just freezing rain. And that's what they're dealing with for parts of the area. Pam Martin asks, what do you think of a snow day? I don't want to forecast snow days. I'm not doing it. You're not going to put me against the snow wall, the snow fence, and predict that. I mean, it's all about timing. If the snow lets up at 3 or 4 in the morning and they get a chance to get out ahead of it, you probably won't have cancellations. But I suspect there will be some closings and delays. I would not be shocked if we have a bunch of that going on. So this is a cool little tool we have developed here. This is an idea of how much snow is going to fall between now and these hours. Okay, so from now until 7, 2 inches, and then between 7 and 9, there'll be 2.2 more inches. So between now and 9, about 4.5 inches. Between now and 11, about a half foot. And between now and 3 a.m., about 9 inches, 8.5, 9 inches. So we're going to easily get our numbers that we were prognosticating for you the last couple of days. And here is a look. Let me go further down the road and show you our snow totals by Saturday. So the initial storm that's coming in tonight is going to give the most snow down in the southern tier, Hornell area, Dansville, Naples. That area is going to get 10 to 14. We're going to get our 8 to 12, and probably on the higher end of that number. But then get a little bonus snow off the lake as we go into Friday night and early Saturday. So, if you're near and north of the city, I'm going to add another 1 to 4 inches of fluffy snow. And I can see see more dendritic snow out there now. Less of that fine stuff. I'm looking out the window and I see more of the actual 6-sided plates and bigger dendrites starting to fall. So that's good news. That'll accumulate better. So if you're up by the lakeshore, if you're up in the city, 12 to 16 by Saturday morning. So that's what we were talking about on the air last night as well. How many inches is Penn Yan getting? All right, well, let's go back to Penn Yan. Penn Yan's an interesting, you're kind of on the edge there. You see it? Penn Yan, let me zoom in a little bit so your town populates here. Let's see if it will. Hold on. There we go. So Penn Yan's right down here in the center of Yates County. So you're going to be in that 12 to 14 inch or maybe 11 to 14 inch area there. Mark McLean reported 3.5 inches of snow at his house. More on the way. When do I think the Fluffinator snow will start? That's happening now, Jason. It's transitioning to the fluffy stuff. So the snow ratios, what you get per inch of liquid, is going up now. This morning, the ratio was like 8 to 1, and it wasn't falling hard. So we had a hard time accumulating. We only got 2 or 3 inches, but now that's going to ramp up as we had talked about the last couple of days. We always thought Thursday evening would be the real height of the storm system. So that is where we are now. Let me go back and show you radar yet again. Try to answer some of these questions. Rima, hello. You say you're going to Buffalo. What will 90 be like for the morning commute? Rima, it will be awful. It won't be that great. It's going to be very cold tonight. So it's going to be hard for them to treat the roads. Now, they plow it like crazy. So it'll be passable. You'll be able to get to Buffalo. You're just going to have to take your time. It'll still be snowing Friday morning, actively snowing, just not as heavy as it will be tonight. So be careful. Do I think lake effect Saturday will reach Mendon? By Saturday morning, we're going to have a strong ridge of high pressure over us, and there won't be a lot of wind to transport the lake effect, and it will get squashed. So lake effect Saturday morning should reside from like central Monroe County north, maybe as far south as Henrietta, maybe Mendon early in the morning, maybe. 2 inches in Wolcott, snowing pretty good for Bill Burgess, 27 in Webster. How much snow in Willard? I don't know where Willard is, Haley. I don't know where that is. Tell me where that is. Thank you, Mark Thomi. Do you think the airport will close? Husband flying from Baltimore. Flights due at 11:15. Mary, the airport rarely closes. It might delay. They have, and we all have, tremendous snow moving equipment around here. So we're used to this stuff, So I don't expect that we're going to have a closure, but we probably will have some delays in flights. That's happening everywhere. Ann wants to know the next storm. Come on, Ann. Let's just enjoy this one. I don't see anything significant on the horizon. Next Thursday is something we're watching, but it's not anywhere knowable as to what it would be. Jan, how does Saturday morning look? Going out to breakfast, my favorite at my favorite diner. Oh, I think I know which one you mean. Yeah, you should be okay. Just be very cold. Flurries. Next week look good. Next week looks better. Once we get to Sunday and once we get to Monday, it looks like the temperatures will get over freezing. So this snow will start to melt a little bit by the end of the weekend. Chances. Oh, Molly says, what are the chances of our girls getting off school tomorrow? There we go at the school. Here we go again. I don't know. I'm not putting chances on it. I mean, you have a chance. Depends on how well the roads are clear by morning and how much snow falls overnight. But I think a lot of the snow falls before 2 a.m. and then it will snow lightly through the morning. Sunday looks good, Diana. Looks really good, actually. So let's go back to the headlines. Will, how are you, buddy?
Good, how are you, Scott?
I'm good. How was the drive?
We're about to take it out right now.
They're going out in the, what is it called? The Van Winkle Bortle Subaru weather machine. Mark says chance of live snow angel outside at the end of the zero live snow angel. I have to go home and get my snow pants if I do that. What about the Wayland area? Wayland's looking pretty good for 10 to 14 for you guys. Wayne and Marion already called off for tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, I think some places are going to see the snow falling tonight, maybe get a little spooked and do that. One at a time. That's right. One at a time. You're right, Laura. One at a time. Come on. And all right, so let's go back to my favorite map. And Mark's watching. So Mark actually made this graphic because he's the man. So that's snow falling through 3 a.m. So between now and 3 a.m., we're expecting about 8 inches of snow. But then as we go through the rest of the overnight, between now and 6 a.m., maybe up to 10 inches of snow. And notice how the rate of snow goes down between 2 and 6. Okay, a lot of the numbers pop up before midnight, and then we level off, showing that it's a lighter snow. So between 2 and 6, maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches of snow. So that's a 1/2 inch an hour or less. How much for Ogden? Ogden area, you're that 8 to 12, 12 to 16. I think you're 12 to 14 there by Saturday. Okay. How cold is it going to be? Mandy wants to know. It is going to be, well, tomorrow in the teens all day, probably 5 or 6 Saturday morning, and maybe below 0 Sunday morning. What's the Lakeshore going to get? So Brent, you're on the edge of the, you're probably on the 8 to 10 amount from the storm, and then Lakeshore should get a couple more fluffy inches late Friday night and Saturday. All right, so we're going back to the snow map because everybody's asking about their town. So let's go to town. All right, so there's the wide look. Let's zoom into Monroe County and northern Ontario, northern Livingston. So pick out your town. I mean, 8 to 12 looks like a solid number for many. 12 to 16 north with the lake help on Friday night. So that's the story. All right, I got to go get prepping for the 5 o'clock. Watch us there. Don't get too scared. It's only a snowstorm. And even though we have a weather alert out, that's just to let you know. And be safe. Don't drive tonight if you don't have to. The worst of it will be over.